Talking about reunions, we're kind of at that time of the year, at least in our lives, where we're gearing up for the end of the school year, proms, graduation, sending them kids off into their future and out of your hair. One of the things, though, I know a number of people are preparing for are reunions. Tre'vell and I have class reunions this year. You already missed one of two possibilities for a reunion. My 10-year reunion from, your 10-year from college, my 20-year from high school. I know it's shocking. Shout out to Good Moisturizer.
Is it shocking?
You're not in the script yet, so you can go head on. I always find it fascinating. Yeah, people look at these things to celebrate or not to celebrate, attend or not to attend, to buy your tickets at the last minute or not, because I still haven't gotten mine. For Tre'vell, there are two events in this year in Atlanta at the AUC for Morehouse, one of which they've, like I said, already kind of skirted, and the other one is coming up in homecoming. For me, I went to my 10 years ago, and I'm excited to go back and connect with my high school classmates, most of whom I haven't really seen since probably the last reunion 10 years ago. And I don't really be on Facebook like that, so I don't catch a lot of them. I stay connected with a handful of them. But Tre'vell, how are you thinking about reunion? I know you didn't go earlier. You're not really quite sure if you're going to homecoming. How are you thinking about that?
Well, let me first start with high school, because you in your context, you're talking about high school reunions. And I feel like, and I think this is a byproduct of me being a military brat. Like, I just don't have the, like, intense connection to people that I went to high school with. And I find that a lot of times people who do have those intense connections, it's because the people you went to high school with in many ways are, like, also the people you went to middle school with, or you went to elementary school with, or there's, like, some sort of stationary aspect, right, to, I spent all of this time in this space and have this connection to this space in a very particular way that I think that I, as a military brat, just don't have, because by the time I got to high school, I only did 3 years at the high school I graduated from. My freshman year was at a different high school in a different state, right? And so we had a 10-year or there was a group of people planning a 10-year situation for high school. I don't know how many people actually like attended or whatnot. I obviously did not attend. Now, when it comes to college, I have more meaningful relationships, I think, with more people in college, but I also have a lot of just, stuff wrapped up in my experience at Morehouse specifically, right? As it relates to community, as it relates to a number of those relationships. And so I'm not particularly drawn, to show up in the ways that others are. I did show up and was very hands-on with our 5-year college reunion activities. Because I was on the student government when we were in college. And so typically the student government, at least at Morehouse, the people who were on the student government kind of take the lead in like planning the reunion activities, once you graduate or whatever. And so I was part of the 5-year group. I may or may not be part of the 10-year group as we gear up for homecoming this year, but I haven't even decided if I'm going to go. Like, I just am not compelled in the ways that other people are. For me, if I show up now, it's less about the relationships that I built then and like reconnecting with people, and more about like just like showing them, the power of the Black trans imagination.
I knew you were gonna.
You know what I mean?
Giving them a little.
You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Just like ooh, yes, we exist. I am here. You're welcome.
Giving them a little ooh-ah-ah sensation, if you will. Yes.
Big her.
all this chest and shoulder moment. I can say for me, at the 10-year reunion, I did go back and I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to this one, though. As you talked about, like, the student government folks being the people who plan it, I remember, I don't think I've ever said this out loud in public, but, like, I remember my junior year thinking about running for senior class president. And the junior class president, Michelle San Jose, Michelle said that she wasn't running for president. And I was like, well, dang, we're not going to have anyone. Maybe I'll run for president. And like, I mentioned that I was thinking about running for president. And then Michelle at San Jose all of a sudden was running for president again. And I was like, what? And so then I didn't end up running. I didn't like leadership in high school because they had to be there at 7:00 in the morning. And that was not my spirit. I'm not an early morning person. We do this show in the morning on Tuesdays now, and it has worked for me to be here at 9, right?
Listen, my God, today.
Listen, I am grateful now that I was not senior class president because I don't have to plan this reunion. I can just show up, wave and say hello, and keep it pushing, right?
Right.
I'm also like at a great place in life right now. So it's like, it's even more exciting to go back and give that ooh-ah-ah sensation.
Absolutely.
I'm really happy about the things that I'm doing, the work that I'm doing, and like have a lot of really great friends, either that are folks that I knew in high school or that I've developed relationships with since then. I can say that like I'm curious to see like what it's going to be like to be, with everyone again though, because I went to a big high school. At our max, I think we had 2,500 to 3,000 students. And when we graduated, there was probably 600, 700, 800 people in our graduating class.
Oh, wow.
How big was your class in high school?
I don't know, but not that big. I want to say maybe 200, 300, like max.
Okay. Yeah, we had a pretty big school. And so it was a great place to be for a lot of different reasons. But I also haven't really been back. I go back and like speak to students and stuff like that sometimes. But like I'm excited about the prospect of going back and seeing everyone and kind of connecting. And I should probably buy my ticket because I know that they're going to be irritated with me that I haven't done that yet. When you talk about like not having like an anchor in like the place where you went to high school, what city did you go to high school in?
I went to high school in Columbia, South Carolina. I went to Richland Northeast High School, home of the Cavaliers.
Shout out to the Fairfield High School Falcons in Fairfield, California. I remember there are so many people back at home in the Bay Area that are still there. And I feel like the relationship is different for folks that are still there to going back to the reunion than people who moved away.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. And so it's like, oh, I see these people all the time. Right. I see that I don't have to like come back for that. And so I'll be curious to see who's coming and things like that. Now, for college and planning, you said you think you're planning this. It sounds like you're not planning it for later this year.
I mean, let's be real. I told them I don't really have the bandwidth to be engaging in planning, right? Because also...
Really?
Shut up.
Why? Are you like busy or something?
Because like planning something for that to happen in a city that you don't live in, right, adds to the work, right, in the orchestration, right, particularly being in a time zone that is different than the time zone of the city where the organizing takes place. Like somebody hit me up trying to get us on a call like 2 weekends ago on a Saturday, and the time, it was just like, I'm not waking up that early on a Saturday for y'all, with all due respect to Mother Morehouse and the rest of them, And so, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be participating in the planning. Again, don't even know if I'm going to go to homecoming this year where these reunion activities would happen. But maybe, because again, sometimes you just gotta, bust up the spot real quick and be like, yes, I know you see it. Amen.
I feel like I want you to walk into like these gymnasium double doors with like smoke rolling in behind you and just like stand there and give them that a little bit and like, yes.
Save it for the movie. Save it for the movie, Jarrett. Save it for the movie.
The reunion movie? What is it, Romeo and Michelle? Like, what do you mean?
Not Romeo and Michelle. Could you not have come up with something Negro?
Sorry, Romeo and Tre'vell. What do you want from me? I don't know, like, what